Hello, it's Libby. And today I'm gonna be showing you around my home, around my bedroom, and I'm gonna tell you what you can bring next year if you're a freshman, a sophomore, a senior. I got you. So let's go down the list. All right. So when you're sitting in your room and you're at your desk and you're studying, it's not necessarily ideal to turn on these overhead fluorescents. So I would suggest having some kind of alternate lighting. All right, so this is my lamp. This has been my lamp since freshman year, and it's come in really handy, especially when you have a roommate that has a different class schedule than you. So you might get up at 9 a.m. and they're waiting to get up for their 11 a.m. And it's really nice because you don't want to turn on the entire room. So if you come over here, this is another light. You could do like this one, which is like a stick. And you could have this lamp, which is also really nice and really dim. And this just comes in handy because you don't want to get ready in the dark, but you also don't want to be disrespectful to the person you're living with because it's a shared space. All right, as a college student, you're gonna want to get sleep. So I use a mattress topper, and that is something that is really worth investing in. They just add a lot more cushion and they're a lot fluffier, and it just feels really good to snuggle up in bed every single night. And another thing to note is the sheets that you get are gonna have to be XL because we don't just have regular twin beds, we got the XL. You're also gonna want a charging port or multiple, and also extension cords. Down here for my PC, I have a charging port that also doubles as an extension cord. And it's really, really helpful because there's really only so many places to plug things in. And so adding this will give you so much more variety. Also, don't forget to bring your laptop charger and maybe a phone charger and a backup phone charger, because sometimes in a pinch, when it's bedtime and you're going to sleep, and then, oh, my phone charger doesn't work. How am I gonna have my alarm wake me up because my phone's almost dead? So consider that, my friend. This is my closet. So what you're gonna want is a suitcase. Now, my suitcase is tucked behind my roller skates. Just don't even think about that. But this is really handy for when you're going home for the weekend, because I've seen people who walk to their car holding basically their entire house, and it takes multiple trips and it's just not very convenient. And if you're going home for fall break or spring break, you're gonna pack a lot of stuff, especially if you're going on a trip. So it's just really nice to have a suitcase, bring it with you. If you have one at home already, just bring it along. I got a duffel bag for $20, and it was at a discount store, and it still works. It's still great, and it still holds what I needed to hold. So another thing is bringing a laundry basket. If you use a laundry bag, you put your laundry in the bag, and then it might get really wrinkled. So, because you're not always ready to put your laundry away immediately as you get it out of the dryer. So you might bring it in your room, leave and go to class, come back, and it's all wrinkled. So this has been really helpful because you can just fold your clothes right into the laundry basket, put it in your room, and then come back. But it depends on where you live, again, because if you're on F3, you're walking down 4 flights of stairs, and that wasn't necessarily the most convenient thing to have this. So having a laundry bag for that was really nice. Here's my mini fridge. This is really, really good. You can definitely get one smaller than this, but we got a great deal. There was a senior getting rid of their mini fridge, and then she sold it for $100. So there's also deals like that will go on in GroupMe, and you can just get stuff like this. Another thing that's really important is having some kind of basket to put snacks in, like a pantry, because you're gonna have food that isn't provided by the dining hall. You're gonna be hungry, you're gonna want a snack. So this is my roommate's snack cabinet. That's not it. That's not it either. Okay, wait, where is it? It's this one. Look at that. Now that is a snack cabinet. So we don't really have a whole lot because, we live in a terrace right now because it's summer living, and basically all of our snacks are in the kitchen. So
nice.
Another thing you're really gonna want is cleaning supplies. because room checks happen like every other week, and you have to clean the mirrors, you have to clean the counters, you can Swiffer. I have a Swiffer. That was the greatest investment of my life. Like, that's just great. A broom, you could get a vacuum, but that's a little expensive, but it does come in handy. So these are all cleaning supplies, things that you're really gonna want. Another thing is an air purifier. Now that is a bigger investment, but when you're just going to class and you're always moving during the busy season, you're gonna want something that's really just gonna purify the air because a lot of dust collects when you're just not cleaning consistently. So that's another thing that I would recommend. Welcome to the bathroom. So one of the things that you're gonna want is toilet paper, because you don't really think about the fact that you have to buy a lot of toilet paper. So, and if you don't, well, that's a little weird. But other than that, you're gonna want your toiletries. So I kind of thought a lot about, okay, what is my morning routine? What is my nighttime routine? So then that told me, okay, that's what I need to bring. So like my toothbrush, my toothpaste, nail clippers is something that I did not think about. And then I was like, I need nail clippers. Like, ain't nobody's business. So those are the basics that you can keep in mind. All right, welcome to the living room. Now, you don't need an entire coffee bar, but if you're like me and you need an entire coffee bar, there is this set on Amazon and it's really nice. So you could invest in that. This was $15. So I will say that this was a worthy investment. It makes one cup of coffee and it does in like 2 seconds. So I will say that this is a great investment. This is an ice maker and they are expensive. But if you're like my roommate and you really like your ice water, this is a really good investment. Now you can only during the open hours of the dining hall go in and fill your water bottle up with ice. But if you're like going to sleep and you can't get that ice water, this is really good. This is really nice. All right, so for kitchen supplies, something that comes in really handy is at Walmart, they have like plastic plates. They're like $1. They're fine, they're good. I will say, you want a plate, you want a bowl, you want cups, mugs, and silverware. But a clutch idea is if you go to the Salvation Army, I thrifted these adorable plates for 99 cents. I mean, kitchenware, the kitchen's here. So I have really enjoyed that. And I have a collection of mugs, and you're really gonna use the mugs. So at least bring one, because they serve coffee in the caf in the morning. And I used to just go in and I would get my coffee and I'd take it to class in the morning before I got my whole coffee bar. So another thing about your mugs is if you bring one to the Odyssey, which is our on-campus coffee house, they will fill it up with a latte. So that is really delicious and cute, and they can make little latte art, and it just makes it feel like home. Another thing you're gonna want is a trash can, because where else is the trash gonna go? A pro tip is if you have a really small trash can, instead of getting trash bags and spending a ton of money on that, every time you go to the store, the bags that you use to carry your groceries, I just save those up and then use that as a trash bag. And then it's like totally a cheaper option. All right, another thing you're gonna want. You don't really think about these, do you? I didn't. But now I think about them because I didn't have them, so I would staple close all of my chips my first year. I don't recommend it. They still go stale, so just get chip clips. Other stuff that you're really gonna want is kind of like a medicine cabinet. So Band-Aids, stuff to heal wounds. Those are really important because you might get hurt. If you're playing volleyball in the volleyball courts and you fall down, you scrape your foot, what are you gonna do? Put a Band-Aid on it. Another thing is like Tylenol, or you could do like ibuprofen. You're probably going to get a headache at some point during the school year, and it's really important to have these. I will note that during the hours that the counseling center is open, they have free medication that you can go get. So if you're feeling sick or if you have a migraine, they have migraine medicine, and that's really, really helpful. Another thing is Tums. If you're like me and you get stomach aches really easily, I have really needed Tums. And I haven't invested in them yet, but I've stolen them from other people. For my freshmen, something that was really important during orientation week for me was that I needed sunscreen and aloe. I did not realize how much we would be in the sun, and during my first week, I was in the sun for way too long and I got a sunburn. Now, I am a ginger, so I mean, it's bound to happen, but maybe I should be wearing sunscreen. Pfft, live life on the edge. But it's really important, and it hurts if you don't. So you're really gonna want it at the beginning of the fall semester and going into the spring semester. And also, laundry detergent and bounce sheets or dryer sheets, those are really important because you're gonna be doing your own laundry. An umbrella, a poncho. Sometimes the weather's gonna decide to rain for an entire week and you have to walk outside to go to your classes. And if you don't have those things, well, don't do your hair. So that's what I've learned. But it's really nice to have an umbrella because you can do your makeup, do your hair, get ready for the day, and you'll be fine. Another good thing to bring is some kind of football. You could bring a soccer ball, you could bring a baseball, you could bring a pickleball. Because a great way to connect with other people is through sports. We have a volleyball court. There are pickleball courts right down the road at a park in Stevens County. And it's just really fun. We also have intramural sports, which is a great way to connect. Right. Another great thing, bring a hammock if you'd like. Now, over here, we have 2 trees. A lot of people set up hammocks over here, and especially between these 2 trees as well. This is just a really common spot because all the trees are really nice and close together. And it's also really green. And there's a clock in the middle. It's just a really pretty location and a great part of campus. If you don't have a hammock, I personally like having a picnic blanket. So here on LT Field, I usually lay out during the spring semester, get some sun. We also have the pond where you can lay out. They have like beach chairs now, which is really nice. So I like to put my picnic blanket on it and just lay on it because it's been sitting in the sun, so it's a little hot. But I put a little blanket on there and it's really nice. All right, that is it for this video. I will see you in the next one, and let me know in the comments down below another thing that freshmen can bring when they're moving next year.